So God is real, and I'm going to tell you about a time where he really showed up for me. So back in 2019, I was living in a completely different province than my mom when she got sick. My mom's health really deteriorated, just like a catalyst of events over the course of, I think, like 6 months. She fell down, broke her hip, had surgery. I flew in when she was in the hospital post-surgery until she was discharged and back home, set up with all sorts of home care services. I flew back home after that thinking all was well, and within about a month, she was already starting to deteriorate. My mom was a really stubborn woman and really just decided like this was it, and she didn't want any sort of life-saving measures at all. Like if she was gonna go, she just wanted to go. I remember I was talking to her on the phone while I was already back home, another province away, and it was a phone call on my 30th birthday where she told me she was diagnosed with blood cancer. I was devastated, and I really feel like from that moment on, I've never fully recovered. So long story short, she ended up back in the hospital, and I was really struggling where I was living because I was working full time and I just could not afford to come back home again. Thankfully, my best friends had pulled together a GoFundMe and raised some money for flight tickets for me and my kids to go back home and see my mom while she was in the hospital. By this time, she was already unconscious, but she was still alive. The doctor told me over the phone my mom really had days. My friend booked me and my children a flight back home. Unfortunately, it was a connecting flight, and it meant that we were going to get into the city where my mom was living well into the night, around like 11 p.m. I prayed to God, and I just asked if there was something that I could do to just get me home faster so I could be with my mom. I took it upon myself to call the airline, and I really told them what was happening with my mom. At first, there were a lot of no's, there's nothing we can do. But somehow, some way, the agent that I spoke with was able to get me and my children on an earlier flight, and it was a direct flight. We arrived in the city around, I think, 11 a.m. to 12 noon. I went straight to the hospital. It was devastating seeing my mom literally on her deathbed. She ended up passing that same night. Remembering this story brings up a lot of emotions, but for me, I feel like God put me on the phone with the airline at the right moment, at the right time, with the right agent to help me and my kids get there to be with my mom. Had I been on that original flight booking, I wouldn't have made it. That was God.